Hey everybody, it's Monster back again with Opus Gaming. I'm here today with Moochie's first place Crocodile deck. We had our locals today. It was 4 rounds. We cut it right at round 4 instead of going to round 5. So it was Crocodile that won and then me on Kaido. So we're going to bring that deck profile to the channel soon as well. But essentially, if you just want to jump into the deck profile, before we get into it, 94% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you could drop a sub down below, I'd really appreciate it. Like, comment anything that you guys have any questions on. The usual, we're on the road to that first 250, so we're getting really close. But if you want to get into your, I think you start off with the 1-drops. You can just go ahead and start.
All right, so the standard for sure, 4 laws. 1-drop is your first turn play.
For sure.
Standard, okay. And then I like playing my 3 drops is 4 Sentimarus and the 4 Doflamingo.
For sure. Let's talk about the Sentimaru, because that's definitely a contentious part. How do you feel about the Sentimaru package as a package in general? Because I've heard mixed feelings about it.
All right, so I think the only deck that could probably use this package is really the pure blue Crocodile deck.
Okay.
Because I use this in case you don't see any of your big beaters.
Yep.
Like you need to see Doflamingo, Mihawk, Mimi Virgo.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this is here in case you don't have any of those. This is your turn 2 play. Because after you play Law, next turn, you either play Sentimaru or you play Doflamingo.
Okay.
In my opinion, you should always put Doflamingo first instead of Sentimaru. But in case you don't have big beaters or you have Doflamingo, this is there to help you get all your pacifists out of your deck.
Okay, so you feel like filling a card on turn 2 is just like really important. You always want to see one of those 2 to start your game out.
Yeah,
Powerful
if you don't see
effect,
it, you don't see this early game, just use it as a counter.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah, and then Dofi, Flamingo, X Minori, use it to look top 5 cards. Make sure you stack your high guys. You want to see the high guys as soon as possible. Virgo, Doflamingo, Mihawk.
Okay, so get those guys basically so you can play them on curve. So you can play Virgo on 5, play Doflamingo on 7, and things like that.
Yeah. Ideally, you want to go first with this deck.
Yep.
So you can go to 1, 3, 5 Virgo, 7 Doflamingo, 9 Mihawk.
While also tapping out every turn for a specific card to build your board state.
And
Okay.
and going second isn't the worst because you do get extra done, but you want to go first to do it as early as possible.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for the 3 drops. Cool.
Okay, and then for the 4 drops, I love Jinbei. It's a favorite.
Trust me, I've noticed.
Because I know some people are playing Marshall D Teach, but the thing is, I like to remove it.
Okay.
Because Teach puts it back the hand, but it didn't get rid of it. They can just do it again. Jinbei, you just say, oh, you know what? It goes to the deck.
Okay, yep.
And it has a trigger, play it.
Play it out of life, and when it comes out of life, it's actually ridiculously deadly.
Yeah.
Like if you bottom deck my Bonnie, or if you bottom deck the blocker that I just tapped out to play, or something like that on Eustass Kid plays, it can be very rough. So I like that.
Yeah, and then I know it's weak, but it's there to kill Bonnies and Namis, Momosuke.
For sure.
It's just something.
For sure. Do you want to put the cards a little bit higher up in the mat? There's a little glare spot.
Oh yeah,
that should be totally fine.
That's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
I can.
And then we have 4 Bora. You should always play 4.
Absolutely, she's correct.
Yeah, standard for blue.
How do you feel about her? Do you feel like she is a destruction magnet? Do you think your opponent always tries to drop a jet pistol on her, or a 10-drop Kaido, or something of this nature?
I believe if you have pistol, your opponent should always pistol this. But the thing is, you don't want your opponent to pistol your big guys.
Yeah.
They don't want to do automa pistol.
Yep. So you make them burn them on the 4-drop.
Yeah, and this is fine. Cause if they pistol that's all good.
Yep.
You have 3 cost blocker. You got law. Them killing that doesn't matter.
Okay. I like how you've had a blocker in all of your cost sets. So there's a 1 cost blocker, 3 cost blocker, 4 cost blocker.
Yeah, you play them on a curve in
Yeah.
case you go first or second.
Yep.
So you always play blocker.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
And then I'm only playing 4 total pacifists.
Okay.
4 is, I think, it's the total amount you should play.
For sure.
It's
3 of the vanilla and 1 of the blocker?
Yeah, 3 vanillas and blocker.
Cool.
You only go for the blocker if you feel like you need to protect something next turn.
Okay.
Because every turn I'm tapping most of my dons.
Yep.
So blocker is in case or late game.
Yep.
Otherwise, you want to prioritize these because worst case, they're not bricks. If you have them in your hand, they're working counters.
Yep, that totally makes sense. And then you kind of want to fish out that Pacifista without the counter from the deck early if you can.
Yeah,
Cool.
But depending on which matchup you're going for, like you go against Zoro, you may want to go for the bigger guys.
Yep, so you can just
kill
crash
them.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I believe the standard
4 Geki Moris, you know,
that card's
add
so
back 2K counter, which is the Mihawk, or add any of the blockers. Then I'm only playing 8 total 2Ks. I think this is fine. The Mihawk and Navito. Most of the time, you never want to play Navito. You just use it as a 2K counter.
Totally.
Okay. And then for the big guys, 2 Virgos.
Oh, just 2 Virgo. That's so interesting because I feel like you see it all the time, especially against me.
It's because I use Doflamingo. You gotta look for it.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
There
If
you
you
go.
don't see it, you only see any of the big guys. You just put the top 5 on the bottom.
Okay. Cool.
Because I'm playing 2 each. I used to play 4 Doflamingo, but it started getting bricky because Doflamingo isn't a counter.
Yep.
So I like using him because he's a 5 drop and he's a 1K counter. Worst case, you just discard it.
One thing that we'll do is at the end of the video, we're going to circle back to some of your play style strategy because I think there's something to be said about how you play the deck with why these cards matter so much. You use those cards very effectively against me all the time, so we'll definitely double back on that. But so from big guys to bigger guy, let's see.
Yeah, and then for your boss, the 4 Mihawk. He's
Okay, cool.
the strongest.
Yeah, Mihawk's fantastic.
He is equivalent to purple drop Kaido.
Yep.
Yeah, you always want to play him if your opponent has something great value. He should turn 4, turn 5 play.
Yep.
After you go Virgo, Doflamingo, Mihawk.
Yeah.
And the worst case is if you go second, you will go to 10 downs, but you can just play Mihawk and Law. And that's really good.
That's a really powerful play on 10 for sure. Okay.
And the only event cards I'm playing 6 total.
Okay.
So 4 Love, I think this is pretty standard.
I love that card. I think
I
that
love
card's
it.
amazing.
And I love Overheat too.
I think Overheat is really, really slept on because people talk about it a lot. But okay, so let's talk about why you play Level of Metal and why you play Overheat.
So Love, you know, it's probably the best blue event cards in the game.
Yep.
Gives you the draw 1, cost 2, you know, plus 4K.
Cool.
But then Overheat, I like how it can return at 3 or less to the hand.
Yep.
Just remember, you can also return your own guys too if you feel like it. Like, oh yeah, say tomorrow that is not doing anything. Just you can return it back. Maybe the trigger effect returns a 4 and less. The really funny interaction is if you go against purple, you can return the stadium back.
Yep, right back to their hand. No,
Yeah.
that's really, really awesome. I like that a lot. No, I mean that's a pretty clean wrap up on how the deck the deck profile is. Let's jump back into what were your matchups today, and let's talk about a little bit more about the deck itself.
Okay, so my matchups, my first matchup was against Purple Kaido.
Yep.
So how you fight against it is you just got to kind of rush them down.
Yeah.
Like you have 3, you get that 3 cost Doflamingo, you got the 5 cost Virgo Doflamingo. You have to try to make them go around 2 life.
Yeah.
It's so they don't board wipe you with the 10 cost Kaido, but the thing is, if you know it's coming, just don't overcommit.
Yes.
Just like you have me on the field, you have one in hand, just don't use it.
Yeah. Just force them into using the 10 drop with like an unsavory point in the game when you're just using cards that you've had on the board for like 2 or 3 turns. It's like, all right, I need to get these off the board. He's been protecting them. So I totally get that.
And then obviously Miha Doflamingo, it beats Queen, King, gets rid of them.
Yeah. So outside of the purple matchup, what else did you play in the tournament?
Okay, so I also play against 2 Rush Zoro decks.
Interesting, because there's a lot of blue today. So how was the Rush Zoro matchup?
I think it's pretty simple because you play so many blockers, you can stop them. You try to not tag life too early.
Yep.
Like maybe you can tag life once, but you don't want to give them too many cards.
For sure.
You want to kill the Rush Zeros when they play them, kill Robins, take care of the board first, then go for life, because even if you have 2 life, they have 5, don't sweat it.
Yeah,
you have
be
so many
fine.
blockers.
For sure. For people that kind of struggle with the Zoro deck in general, is there kind of like is that kind of like the strategy that you want to go for? Just playing against Zoro in general is just like try to starve them of resources?
Yeah, you just take them out of the resource, because even if you have 1 life, you play so many counters, you play so many blockers, you play Geki Mori, the forecast, you can get back any blockers, because all the blockers are 7 warlords.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this is why I say Jimmy is the best, because it takes care of the Zoros, the Chopper, the Robin.
Yeah, they get them completely out of there. They're all the way to the bottom of the deck.
And then
so.
and then if they're playing Star deck Nami, they will always play Nami first, and maybe they'll play like a Zoro. they can check Jinbei and security, and you got value.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. 100%. Okay, so for your next matchup, so you played 2 Zoros. What was your last matchup in the tournament?
Oh, so my last matchup was the Purple Blue Crocodile.
Okay.
So the only tricky part is that deck is like really defensive.
Okay.
And but the thing is, to counteract that, you are playing really offensive.
Really big bodies,
Yeah.
for sure.
And these take care of the 7-cost crocodile. Like
Yep.
you beat it, you
Yep.
eat it.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. What is your kind of big overstating statement? Because I know that Purple Blue Croc is getting a lot of popularity in the meta. So if you're looking at playing this deck, what is kind of like how do you play against it? Do you swing at a certain number? Are you always swinging at 9? Are you swinging every chance that you get, or do you build a big board and swing?
Okay, so for sure, a tip against any 2-color decks. If you go against them, you want to go first so you can attack them really early game because they have 4 life. And if they block it, that's fine. They lost the card.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you want to go first. So the ideal play is Law is not mandatory. If you have it first turn, that's really great.
That's fantastic.
But you want to see second turn Doflamingo or Setemaru because this year, 1 Don, 3 Dons. Ideally, you want to go for 1, 3,
5 on Virgo.
5 for Virgo, 7 for Doflamingo, and maybe 9 for Mihawk.
Yep. Literally in that order. That's,
This is like
for
the
sure.
order. This is like that God hand.
Yep.
It's like you want to do this play.
Yep.
Because how I won against them is having big beaters.
Yep.
Like worst
Once you start
case,
establishing those
worst
bodies.
case you just have a board of Virgos and that's fine.
Yep.
The big beaters.
Just 2 Dawn makes them 9K, makes it take a lot of cards out of that Purple Blue Crocodile's hand.
Yeah, because you don't need to worry. You have so many blockers, you can save yourself.
For sure.
Just make sure you have 1 life, so they can't go for unblockable.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So with these cards that are kind of out right now, let's talk about the playstyle of the deck because it is a control deck. Because I see you Dawn -4 a lot to kind of stay on top of decks like green and stuff like that. But you're focused on fielding Virgos, 7-drop Doflamingos, and 9-drop Mihawks, right? Like you want to put bodies on the board, and that's how you win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your hardest matchup is an 8-drop green kid.
Yep.
Which is why if you had to go for early strong aggressor, so when they drop it, you can just kill it.
You can just start putting that pressure on and continuing the pressure because then you have to swing back into you. No, that makes a lot of sense. So that's something I just really wanted to touch on. I know that Crocodile isn't really represented in the meta right now, so I was really excited that you were able to take first today. And yeah, that's gonna kind of wrap it up for the deck profile and everything. If you've made it this far and you're not subscribed, I really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below. And this is me, Jamonster, with Opus Gaming. I'm out. Take care, guys.